Well, I think what his plan is to replace the money of 3 point something billion with an investment in new technology rather than just writing you a check, help the IDF. He wants to create a partnership outside of the aid number. I like that idea. The wars of the future are being planned here in Israel.
The wars of the future are being planned here in Israel.
The wars of the future are being planned here in Israel.
系统是人工系统。
One side recommendation I have is don't worry about squirreling money away for retirement in 10 or 20 years. It won't matter.
No.
They thought I was done.
Okay.
Either we're not going to be here, or
It just it's you won't need to save for retirement. If any of the things that we've said are true, saving for retirement will be irrelevant.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Scriptures in Wall Street. I'm excited to talk about this particular topic for many reasons, because it is going to sound like it's a safe and effective and really good thing. UBI, for many of you that don't know what UBI is, it actually goes hand in hand of what we've been discussing for the past 4 years. It goes hand in hand on multiple things, not just academia, but pharmaceutically, as well as financially, socially, economically. And I say that because the track, trace, and control agenda is here. AI is going to push it even further. And it's going to get scary. It's going to get scary if you're not prepared. So UBI, what does this have to do with green money? What does this have to do with anything? Well, we need to go back into history. Back in the 40s, Franklin Roosevelt came out with an income plan, a form of UBI, universal basic income. But this income was only earmarked for anyone that was over 65 and still working. You see, in the 40s, people weren't living a long life. 65 and over was considered a very long life back then. Of course, through medical technology, people are living longer. And introduced, obviously, with Franklin Roosevelt passing away, the government decided to get together and say, we don't want to stop this awesome social program, this welfare program for society. We want to continue it, but we need to add some rules and some regulations, some speed bumps, some stop signs, so that we can financially afford this economically. And so what they came up with is a bunch of rules. Congress got together and they compartmentalized it, they internalized it, and they brought it in. And it's also known as Social Security Administration, SSI. And because of Social Security, they put a lot of rules and regulations on it. For instance, in 2025, if you're under FRA, $1 over the amount of 23,400. So basically, if you make over 23,400 on Social Security, every $2 that you make, you would have to give $1 back. And if you're reaching full retirement age, which they determine how much and when, when your FRA is based on your birthday, that number is $62,160, and you will pay a 30% penalty any amount over $62,160. So you pay basically a 50% penalty over $23,400 if you go over that. This also includes only when you are taking Social Security. So if you take money out of your IRAs, that is considered ordinary income. Yes. So this is how taxation works in retirement that they don't tell you about. You have these earnings tests. So the 23,400, if you take Social Security before the age of full retirement age, and only you would know that, you will be penalized 50%. Notice I did not say tax. So you still have to pay taxes outside of the penalty. Guys, this sounds like a trap. This sounds like a social welfare trap. It sounds like you're on welfare. I don't even know what the welfare numbers is, but if you ever hear somebody say, "Yeah, I don't pay any taxes," you either make not enough to even claim taxes, or you're playing the welfare game. I mean, it's that simple. And when you take Social Security, you are playing the welfare game. Now, everybody has to take Social Security at age 70. It's forced on you. What I typically air to caution is that you always want to wait till your full retirement age. And it's up to you on what your genes look like, how long you think you'll live. We're not all God unless you're Elon Musk and you feel like you can, brain chip yourself into biohacking forever.
One side recommendation I have is don't worry about squirreling money away for retirement in 10 or 20 years. It won't matter.
No.
Okay.
Either we're not going to be here, or
It just it's you won't need to save for retirement. If any of the things that we've said are true, saving for retirement will be irrelevant.
Guys, this gets really, really weird as I think about it and just discuss it. Let me say my disclosure here. Everything on this podcast is meant for information, education purposes only. I am a financial advisor. Although I sound funny with a bunch of allergies, everything on this podcast is meant for information and education purposes only. I'm not giving investment advice. Please, 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 when I talk about charts, I am not giving investment advice. So do not take any trades based on this information today, because you probably would lose money. Probably. Because there's just no professional monitoring of it, and you need to speak with a licensed financial advisor. Now, if that's you, if you would like to have a conversation, have investment advice, then give us a call, 813-448-3446. Or if you just want a second opinion about your retirement, and can you really retire? Answer that. Also, if you don't know the answer to this, if you have a 401k or IRA, tell me how long that money's going to last you. What are you going to do with that money? And how much of that money do you own? More importantly, what is the taxation on that money? Yeah. So while you ponder that, and if you don't know the answers, then give us a call, 813-448-3446. Hopefully I don't sound stuffy when you call. I've been dealing with allergies for a long time. Seasonal allergies. Here in Florida, we have a lot of cold weather coming in and a lot of heat all in the same week. So it just throws me off. And I get very, very tired, fatigued, and my throat hurts. And I realized the other day, man, I can't sing in church. I can't podcast. I don't want to talk. Your voice is literally everything. I'm like, man, if I don't have a voice, I don't have a job. So I'm pretty screwed. Oh, man, that would be a terrible thing. Anywho, I'm excited to talk about this because this is some serious, reckless, negligent words from Elon Musk. Basically, you don't need to retire. You don't need to save for retirement. Are you joking me? That's not even biblical. But then again, he doesn't care about God, obviously. If you want to play with your brain and play God, God made you in his image. He made you perfect the way you are. My daughter has a frontal cortex issue, a neurological development disorder. I am not going to brain chip her. She is perfect the way she is. So I just wanted to man, this really bothers me about the whole not saving up for retirement. As a retirement planner, this is very, very dangerous. Very dangerous. The don't worry, you need to save for retirement is such a trap, a satanic trap that fits into the mold of what the Project 2030 would look like, what the future, the Klaus Schwab agenda of you would die and be happy, own nothing, that language that fits that narrative. And look, I'm not a politician. That's coming from, quote unquote, one of the smartest men alive, which is scary. Universal basic income and trust in that system may be the most expensive mistake in your life. I like to consider UBI. You remember Andrew Yang in 2020? He was talking about this nonsense. And he was explaining, like, look, you don't need to work. You don't need to work. You don't even need a skill. There's no productivity requirement. And the argument's simple. The AI replaces the jobs. It's going to outperform humans. Millions become economically unnecessary. The government will take care of you. Yes, the government will take care of you. Sounds like Medicare or Medicaid, right? So, you know, when you this is why UBI is like, it reminds me of Medicare or Medicaid. You can go completely poor, or you can be like the wealthy, and what they do is they put everything in irrevocable trust and they own nothing. So when they go apply for Medicaid, they get it because they own nothing. The trust owns everything. And there's an executor assigned to the trust. But you know what happens is there's a group of people that have planned for long-term care. And they get the Ritz-Carlton-like services for as long as they're in a long-term care facility because they bought insurance to cover them and they got private. Or you can go the public route and the free one. And let me tell you, the free Medicaid long-term care facilities are not the places where you want to be at. I don't need to explain the free and the public, the bottom of the barrel. And it doesn't matter what, area you live in. The Hamptons have a better system out there, or Lockmere and Cary, or here in West Chase, Florida, or whatever fancy neighborhood in your neck of the woods. It doesn't matter. It's still a public facility that is funded by the government, or they're paying you and it's funded by the government. The whole "we'll take care of you." How does that make you feel when the government says we'll take care of you? Does that give you more power? Does it give you more freedom? Or does it give you more dependency? It sounds compassionate. It sounds humane. It almost even sounds biblical. But here's a problem. UBI does not create wealth. It creates dependence.
If you currently have money in the bank, a 401k, or even precious metals in an IRA, you may want to listen up. You're going to want to have a place where you have a guarantee on your funds. As we go into a lower interest rate environment, banks will be stressed out when the commercial real estate crisis happens. Right now, you can get a guarantee, yes, a guarantee on your principal, and get a bonus. If you're younger than 65 years of age, we can utilize an insurance-based contract that has been around for over 100 years. We want to help you find a guarantee on your funds that are actually outside of banking laws, outside of securities laws. And guess what? You get a guarantee on your funds. You get a guarantee on your principal. Go to greenmoneysolutions.com, fill out your information, and let's just see if you qualify.
So here's a reason why Elon Musk is saying, his logic. Machines do all the work. The government redistribute all the productivity. And money becomes less tied to labor. So in theory, why save? Why invest? Why plan? Why have any of that? Because the truth speaks out loud. UBI assumes that the system will stay solvent, benevolent, and honest. UBI assumes the systems will stay solvent, benevolent, and honest. So if that is the case, I think history has basically said otherwise. We have government budgets, we have political stability, instability, we have central banks, digital currencies, compliance. The future is no longer yours. So what happens when inflation spikes? What happens when benefits are adjusted? Do you know that Social Security does this all the time with cost of living adjustments? Ask anybody on Social Security, also known as welfare, what their COLA adjustment is, what their payment increase is. The track, trace, and control agenda also further has another thorn to stick you with. They already stuck you with Social Security. They already trapped you with the 401k. They already scammed you with the taxation on your money, on the compounding interest of your money. And when you pull the money out, it's now ordinary income. They already scammed you and trapped you in so many ways that you deferred the payment on a taxation on the growth of all of your IRA assets. Then when you pull the money out and you go to take your current welfare, also known as Social Security, you have all these rules and regulations called the earnings test. I bet many of you didn't even know what earnings test was. Yes, when you are 62 years old and you want to take Social Security early, you do have to abide by the earnings test, which is $23,400 in 2025 and $62,000 and some change in 2025. If you make more than that, they're already telling you what they're going to do. They're penalizing you for pulling money out of your own IRA. They've given you a tax credit. Maybe you have a SEP, maybe you have a 401k that you've contributed to. Maybe you just have a good old boy traditional IRA. Anything outside of a Roth 401k or Roth IRA, the assets in those accounts are going to be tax-free. Also, it doesn't calculate towards the Social Security's earnings test, but everything else does. You know what they said back in the day? That tax-free bonds are going to be tax-free, and they are. But guess what they did? You guessed it. The income you get from your tax-free bonds counts towards the calculation of your Social Security check. So that, that $23,400, let's just say, oh man, mom and dad gave me $1 million in tax-free bonds. Great. I'm 55 years old. I'm going to retire. I'm making my $40,000 a year in tax-free income. And I'm going to sell fish tacos once a week to supplement the rest from my food truck. Well, maybe you just did that. And guess what? You do that for 10 years. Now you're 65. You take Social Security at 65 because you're tired and you just don't want to do that anymore. Well, you're still at the $23,400 threshold. You are getting penalized, my friend, by taking Social Security, and the money from your tax-free bonds that you thought were tax-free, and they are not excluded from the taxation on your Social Security on the earnings test. They took that away. You can look it up. So this is a trick that the government will continue to do. Imagine all the rules and regulation when UBI does hit, because I believe it will. It is going to create this contrast. I had this chart here that really is powerful. So UBI creates dependency, survival, meaning you need it to survive, and it's permission-based, centralized, inflates away, where the other side of that, with utilizing our green money solutions, you're going to have ownership. You're going to have legacy. It's asset-based, meaning you did well. You saved, you heeded advice, and you took it, and you were proactive. It's going to be asset based. It's also going to have the ability to be distributed versus your UBI is going to be centralized. No one will get your UBI except for you. So when you pass away, you would not leave anything to your children. It also grows over time. It bypasses probate. So tell me which side of the aisle you want to be. It sounds like victimhood versus responsibility. When you take responsibility and you build assets using our programs, you're going to have the ability to grow your retirement, utilize the interest, whether you're on Social Security or decide to take it later at time. You can choose to have a tax-free bucket so it doesn't affect your Social Security, so you're not messed up by this earnings test rule, and you're not subject to all the scams that they put on you. It's terrible what they're going to be doing with this UBI. This is like for real. This guy is for real. Like he really believes this is happening. So Proverbs 13:22 comes up to my head. A good man leaves an inheritance to his children. And UBI says a difference. It says, well, you can consume today and the system will handle tomorrow. So go ahead and blow all your assets now. Don't worry about it in 10 years. You won't need it. But scripture continues to point to prepare, to multiply, to steward. And we also know that Joseph didn't wait for pharaohs to send a check. He stored grain during abundance. That's not fear, that's wisdom. So how are we storing the grains now? How are we putting money away aside? How are we saying, hey, you know what? I got this big pot of money in silver in these IRAs. And, you know, silver's trading. It was trading at 121. I didn't sell it. I didn't take the advice. I didn't do what's best because I was emotional about it. And now it's down to 73 and went as low as 68. And I'm hoping it goes back up. And you know what? It's going to go back up. It will. It will. But it's going to get traded and manipulated, and you guys are going to get scared. Let me talk about things that survive in these weird times while retirement still matters. Hard assets. These are good. These are hard assets. Cash flowing assets. These aren't cash flowing assets. You can turn them into cash flowing assets. All you got to do is give us a call, and we'll explain how to do that into green money. Insurance-based guarantees. We need to have contractual agreements on our funds that are set aside for retirement so that they don't take them away, so that they're not tied to the stock market. They're not in the FDIC program or they're in the red money bucket. This includes annuities like fixed index annuities or even income annuities with guaranteed income payouts. Also life insurance, cash value life insurance, not whole life, but high growth index universal life, where you can borrow against a death benefit, pay taxes on the money to convert your IRAs and 401ks over if you're over 59 and a half. And you can continue to do this for several years. Now you have a bucket of money that is not going to get UBI, that's not going to get CBDC, that's not going to lose to the next stock market crash like we're seeing right now with the Magnificent Seven. We'll talk about that here shortly, but it's all red money. You have ownership without permission. This UBI agenda is going to create another track, trace, and control hook, a financial inoculation that you will not be able to get away from. So how you're going to be able to make money with this AI takeover, because it is coming, is you're going to have to take your money and buy an AI bot that works for you. This is what's going to happen, guys. You're going to have to somehow in the future buy the bot that does your job, or your job's going to get replaced by a robot of some sort. Like, this is crazy talk. Like, we're even talking about this. But in order for UBI to work, they're going to need for you to submit your life to them. Basically bow down financially, medically, economically to the government. Very similar to any type of welfare program that exists right now. And who's going to be the most vulnerable The most vulnerable are the vaccinated, the people that got vaccinated. The most vulnerable actually is going to be unfortunately, our government workers, our military, our servicemen, and recipients of welfare right now, beneficiaries of Social Security, people on fixed income. They're going to be the most vulnerable. You just have to understand, UBI creates more victim mindset, more laziness. It is meant for you to survive on, but what it's actually doing is killing your legacy. There's nothing to leave behind. So this is why it's so important to put money away, because the government is going to use money to track, trace, and control you. The government is going to use social-based programs to try to pigeonhole you into thinking the way they think. They're going to use these things like the CBDC, like the blockchains, like the surveillance state that we're in. I already showed you this crazy chart. I think it was a few months ago. Like, God gave me this vision of how these brain chips will be sold in a marketplace, and it just was a track, trace, control PDF. Guys, this is happening, man. And you can call this speculation. You can call this whatever you want. I'm not giving investment advice. You can call me crazy. But I'm just telling you how I see it unfolding right now. Many of you have called me this past 2 weeks since I've lost Josh. He went on to pursue a career in engineering, is what I believe. And I wish him the best. But I've been afforded the opportunity to speak to many of our call-ins as of recent. Nothing shy of amazing. Like, you guys are powerful people. And you encourage me to get in front of the mic, get in front of the camera, to look up this stuff, to work hard, stay diligent. And I just want to say thank you, because you guys have inspired me to keep on going, even when I don't feel like it. You know, Paul was in jail. Paul was under duress, and he wrote the letters. Like, we don't have the time to get in our mind. If you have a gift, you have to share it. You have to share it, whether it's singing, whether it's writing, whether it's speaking, whether it's communicating, whether it's giving, whether it's discernment, where it's just joy and happiness. That is a gift that you need to not contain. It's not meant for you. It's meant for others. So I'm not saying I'm a gift. I'm just saying that I enjoy doing this. So I hope it is a gift for you. I actually make money when clients call and you decide to purchase investments or insurance-based products from me. I get compensated. I'm a for-profit business. But as long as I get to talk about my faith with you, I'm winning. I'm winning spiritually. I'm winning financially. And I get to be an impact in your life. So that is my aim for every podcast. And it's very scary, guys. UBI is a real thing. Do not listen to this guy. Do not get tempted. I feel like this is a serpent that was tempting Jesus and say, bow down to me and I'll give you the whole city. You know, confess that I am who I am. Just worship me. And Jesus just laughed at him. He just smirked and walked away. He was a gangster. Guys, I'm here to tell you that this is the modern day slavery. Your income will be dictated by the government. Your access to it will be restricted. Your purchasing power will be faded away if you do not save for retirement. At that point, you are not retired, you are managed. Even if your income is covering your bills, you're not retired, you're managed. Retirement is not about money. It's about the freedom to do what you want, regardless of the money you have. Where do you spend your time when money is not an issue? Can you imagine if you're straight up UBI'd on Social Security, you're UBI'd on everything? They control where you go. They have your AI. They have your behavior patterns. They know exactly what you do. They know what you buy. They know the cities you frequent, the homes you go to. They know all your banking transactions. And if you publicly say something that goes against their contractual behavioral agreements with you on your social credit score, then they can just completely pause it. So I'm saying all this, guys, because it is so important not just to save for retirement, but if you have an IRA, imagine what they could do when you have to start paying taxes. And if you don't, imagine what they can do to the taxation on that. So if you got $500,000 in an IRA, do you really have $500,000 in a 401k or IRA? You never pay taxes on it. I want you to answer that. And if you don't know, that's okay. You can give us a call. We can walk through what a Roth conversion is, what a tax-free retirement looks like. We can walk through what that process would look like to do that. This is serious, man. The transhuman agenda is real. And I honestly think, speculation, only for you to decide, but I could see the government saying, if you don't get this brain chip, you're not getting UBI. And people will do it. They're like, this brain chip is safe and effective. Look at all the people who have taken it and the proven historicals of how much longer it made you last. You beat Alzheimer's, you beat dementia, you beat whatever illness your family has, because this brain chip has rewired your brain to avoid all those health problems and concerns. Oh, and by the way, in order to make it to this public long-term care facility, we need for you to be brain chipped, because you already have this UBI payment. So it's no big deal. You won't get your UBI payment till you get this chip. And there'll be private chips and there'll be public chips, and the government will control all of them. So I'm not saying that this is happening. I'm not saying, I'm speculating, okay? But this is just me talking about how crazy. There's no end on what they could do. There is no end on this UBI. We have Elon Musk saying that you won't even need a job anymore. Like, we're not too far off here. This is crazy talk. This goes against our belief. God made us in his image. He told us not to worry. He told us to work as we're working unto the Lord. Do you want to automate your faith? Do you not want to go out and make disciples? Do you not want the blessings of hard work? Because that's what Satan wants us to do. He wants to chop all the penises off the men. He wants to feminize us. He wants to break marriages. He wants us to make us men fat and lazy and look like the guys on the Super Bowl beer commercials doing nothing. We're a worthless piece of crap. And the women want to base in their masculinity and say, oh, we don't need men. We don't need this. We don't need that. And everything's so ass backwards. And that's what Satan wants. He wants us to be confused. He wants us to just be spiritually oppressed. He thrives in chaos. The busyness of a person will affect your spiritual life, as it has with mine as of recent. Just staying busy with podcasts and talking to clients and going back and forth with hockey games, going back and forth to school pickups, projects, deadlines, audits, podcast recordings, pictures. So much working out, finding time, and then you get sucked in with death scrolling on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever social media platform is your choice of poison. The busyness is what Satan wants. He wants to keep you away. He knows that once you open up that book and seek his face, he knows that he's lost. So he keeps you busy. He keeps you in the fear. He keeps you in red money, more importantly. And for those of you that don't understand, red money is a bucket of money where there's unlimited losses and unlimited gains. You have no control. You don't know what the fees are. And primarily, this is going to be your stocks, your bonds, your mutual funds, your precious metals, your real estate, structured notes. These are everything that has an up and down ticker. And we call it red money here at Cortez Wealth. We call it red money because it's so easy to colorify or categorize your money once you know the colors. Like in kindergarten, you learned 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, and behind those numbers were all these blocks, and there were different colors that helped you learn 1, 2, 3. And when you learn new concepts, colors actually help you out. So when you give us a call, we will do the color of money exercise with you and explain, do you know what red money is, green money, and yellow money? And naturally, most people don't, because it's something I pretty much made my own. And if you don't know the color of money, then give us a call. You can also go on Rumble, YouTube. We're on Apple Podcasts now, which is pretty cool. Probably have no followers because it just came out like yesterday. So give us a like on Apple Podcasts as well as Rumble and YouTube and all the podcast platforms. We're there now. But my goal for you guys is to really, really emphasize Proverbs 13:22. A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. Consume today and the system will handle you tomorrow. That's dangerous, man. That's really, really dangerous. People want to be comforted, and they will die an uncomfortable life to be in comfort. It's crazy. Remember, your income will be paused on UBI. Your access will be restricted. And more importantly, your purchasing power of the UBI payments will be deadly. They'll be non-existent. I will say this. I'm going to end with this, that UBI is a real thing. It will come eventually. I don't know how financially they're going to do it. They're probably going to steal from more taxation of your IRAs in some sort to pay for the COVID bills, to pay for the Ukraine bills, for the Israel bills. Once they start printing money, it's a wrap, man. The silver will go through the roof. It's being suppressed by the banks, as you guys know. This is a conversation that Wall Street basically does not want you to have. If AI replaces jobs, the ownership replaces labor. I know this episode probably does not make you feel comfortable, and that's okay. But know that there's greenmoneysolutions.com you can go to. It is time to securitize your IRA. It is time to protect your money outside of the stock market. It is time to grow wealth, not just through precious metals, because that's red money, but an account that is interest bearing, that no one can have access other than yourself. And when you pass away, your family gets everything, not the government, your family. And more importantly, you can live off the interest to supplement the income so that you're not in a public long-term care facility, so that you're not reliant on Social Security, early Social Security. You have your own asset that you can basically benefit, and you don't have to buy tenants and toilets. You don't have to deal with the real estate debacles. I got like 4 real estate properties, man. I hate them all, man. It is annoying. Money goes in, money comes out. And I don't even know like how profitable they're going to be till the end of the month. And then it's like, whew, let's survive another month. It's a terrible way to live a life, knowing that a renter can say, you know what? I don't like this way this door sounds. Let me get a maintenance guy here. The maintenance guy comes in and says, you know, the door is not your problem. It's the sheetrock. It's rotting. The foundation's rotting. Oh, look, there's a crack here. You need a whole restoration. Not saying that is going to happen, but it could happen. It's not a guarantee. These are unforeseen risks. Can you really afford that when you're pulling income off an asset that you set aside for preservation and income? This is a real deal. So we have to be very careful. With green money, there's no tenants and toilets. There's no real estate risk. It is completely passive. and you have income coming in. You add this with yellow money, and you'll have a very safe and effective retirement that can grow with the manipulations that we see on a day-to-day basis in the market. Also, we have income products that generally, on average, will pay anywhere from 12 to 15% if you want to have risk. These are through structured notes. Contact our office. I'll talk about that. I'm not here to advertise investments. I'm just here to give you concepts. All you got to do is just go to CortezWM.com, book an appointment with us, or go to greenmoneysolutions.com if you want security, income, and guarantees in your retirement and not be subject to this UBI agenda that is coming, the track, trace, and control agenda. And it is coming faster than you would think because AI will be taking over. I believe the humanoids, just like you saw in the video, will be here within the 2 years. They already have hobots, which are like task-oriented bots, house bots. These are basically small little bots that iron clothes, that will clean the walls. They're assigned a task, and they're a lot smaller. They have one that will clean the bathroom. They have one that will iron the shirt. They have one that will teach your kid how to read in your preferred language. There is these little house bots, and not house bots like humanoids, but they're called hobots. So housebots.com is another website that's going to be distributing these types of products at a mass scale.
If you currently have money in the bank, a 401k, or even precious metals in an IRA, you may want to listen up. You're going to want to have a place where you have a guarantee on your funds. As we go into a lower interest rate environment, banks will be stressed out when the commercial real estate crisis happens. Right now, you can get a guarantee, yes, a guarantee on your principal, and get a bonus. If you're younger than 65 years of age, we can utilize an insurance-based contract that has been around for over 100 years. We want to help you find a guarantee on your funds that are actually outside of banking laws, outside of securities laws. And guess what? You get a guarantee on your funds. You get a guarantee on your principal. Go to greenmoneysolutions.com, fill out your information, and let's just see if you qualify.
So what's interesting is that this is going to be the future. And so you need to understand that you need to protect your assets now, guys. Please, please, please give us a call. There's so many things I could talk about on the trading side, on the chart side, fundamentally and technical. But this all goes and coincide with the banking conversation. We understand the FDIC. I've talked to so many people and they have all this money in the bank. And I'm like, you really don't own the money in your bank. As a matter of fact, don't even take my word for it. Just go ahead and Google it or internet search it. Do you own the money in the bank? I'll save you some time. It says technically yes. What do you mean technically yes? It's either a yes or no question. Do I own the money in the bank? And it says technically yes. And then it goes on and it mentions the Dodd-Frank Act that, if a bank ever goes belly up, they have the right to bank bail in your money. Well, you can look it up. Factually speaking, you don't own the money in your bank. You only have the benefit in the right. Well, no, only the benefit. You only have the benefit to withdraw money, but you don't own the money in the bank. So they can tell you whatever they want to tell you. If at a moment they feel insolvent at any point or a threat to insolvency, they have the legal right to bank bail in your money, to capture your funds, and pay you as a creditor. So you now become a creditor. They pay you back on their terms in the best interest of the bank. So this is the banking laws now, guys. This is not a new law. This has been around since 2010. I like to say this is how messed up and programmed we are. Don't cheat. Don't cheat. I'm going to play a little game with you. Don't cheat. Pause the video and say, well, do what you got to do. But listen right now. We're driving down the street. How many sides does a stop sign have? Yes, 8. How many sides does a yield sign have? 3, right? Okay, and real quick, without looking, don't cheat. What color is a yield sign? Did you say yellow? The answer is red. And it's a trick question. They recently changed it in 1971. And they're all red. There's not a yellow yield sign. It's a federally mandated sign. But we already thought the yield sign was yellow because we were brought up that way. How much and how different is with your retirement? You thought it was going to grow. The IRA, the 401k is going to be there. You're not worried about taxation on it. It'll work out one day. We get lazy. God is good. God is gracious. Yes, he supplies all our needs, and that's true. But he doesn't bless passiveness and laziness. So be proactive. He says you got to be a steward. Are you being a steward right now with your assets? Are you funding the things that go against your faith? I don't know the answer to that, only you. And I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to do anything. I'm just here to be real. I don't care about people's feelings, man. Like I care. I tell my clients all of this, and this offends you, then we're not how to get a fit. I'm not here to protect your feelings. I'm here to protect and grow your money. That's it. And I don't need everybody calling me and saying, hey, I need help. Please don't do that. I only want to work with people that are like-minded and that have money. And if you don't have money, that's cool. I want to help you build well too. It's one of those things, guys, like you just got to take action. And if you believe in what I believe in, I'm your guy. Give me a call. I'll always welcome you with arms wide open. You can also visit us at cortezwm.com. Let me do some sponsoring here. So how many times have we gotten lost in the minutia of the everyday life? We've gotten fat, we've gotten lazy, we've gotten complacent, not just in our faith, but also our fitness, maybe our finances, maybe our marriage, maybe our family. But we've gotten complacent, and we constantly need to continue to grow. And one of the things I was weak at was in my fitness. As a former athlete, I thought I had it all. My ego got in the way. I'm like, I'll do it later. I'll do it later. Up until now, I have been able to focus on my fitness. For those of you who've been following me for 3 or 4 years, you understand that I've gained a lot of weight. I've used the excuse of having 4 kids, a marriage, a business, helping out at church, all these excuses. And I keep putting myself in the back burner. This is deadly. And what I love about this company, what I love about taking ownership, is that GetMeLeanUSA.com has the ability to introduce natural groundbreaking peptides. What your body demands, what your body needs to release those fat stored cells, to build muscle, to gain your physical being back to where it's naturally supposed to be. We're not talking about big pharma saying we're going to come out with the weight loss drug. We're not talking about losing muscle. We're talking about gaining muscle, gaining your physique back, controlling your appetite, giving you the edge that you need to help you get your body back in check the way God intended it to be, by using his resources with America First products, with America First company that aligns and believes in what you believe in. Introducing GetMeLeanUSA.com. Get in. This is going to be groundbreaking, huge business opportunity, as well as a huge groundbreaking technology that is going to change the landscape. So I know good things before I see it, and I highly recommend you get in. All you got to do is click the link below and get you some fit, get you some lean, and get fit and get lean. This is not going to do everything. Of course, diet and exercise, you continue your walking, continue your protein intake, but man, does it make it a whole lot easier to get in shape. Look at me, I've lost 60 pounds, but this is actually fundamentally a great recipe to get back in shape. And I can personally attest to the amazing effects of this product. So go to GetMeLeanUSA.com. You won't regret it. You can cancel anytime. They're affordable and yet they're effective. And you are supporting our show. You're supporting yourself. You're supporting a mission. There is an affiliate program attached to it if you would want to share it with your friends and family. There's a whole nother opportunity there. But more importantly, let's get your fitness back in check. God bless you. Carlos Cortez here, signing out. So one of the cool things that I love is the Get Me Lean USA. You can go to Get Me Lean USA, get you some peptides, lose some weight, build some muscle, think well, sleep well, hydrate yourself well. Go to Get Me Lean USA. I love the performance pack. They have sleep aid pills, peptides. They have these juices that are so great called Fit. It builds muscle, and it's 4 times more protein synthesis than creatine alone. So very powerful stuff, all made here in America. And if you don't want it, guess what? You can cancel it anytime. It's no big deal. They also have, customer guarantees. If you don't like it, they'll give you all your money back. Awesome stuff. Just a great company that is America first. And they love Jesus as well. Also, if you're not drinking the best water, I don't know what you're doing. You can also go to americafirstwater.com. And my buddy Tim will be contacting you, but get on his newsletter. It is so powerful, scientifically proven. He breaks down the science, why these water machines do so much for not just your body, but your overall household. I'm talking about acidic water that is strong like bleach. I'm talking about, for the ladies, neutralized pH water for the beauty water for your hair, your collagen, your skin. I'm talking about high pH water to brine turkeys and cook. Also, the alkalinity in the water is so powerful that it literally will hydrate your body. And the microclustering in this water penetrates your whole body within, like, it hydrates your body and actually goes to your brain membrane where regular water doesn't get to. It hydrates your brain 2 minutes, your whole body in 2 minutes. A lot of reports have, come to me when I've given people some of this water, that they felt like this natural buzz, and for once their body was feeling all these dopamines and neurotransmitters were being restored, like as soon as they drank this water. Very, very impactful. I love it. Go to americafirstwater.com. The machines are not cheap. They're like $4 or $5 grand. Get with Tim. He's got some ways to finance it. But man, they last 20, 30 years, no problem. I bought one for my office. I bought one for my home. I bought one for my parents' home. My mom literally has arthritis, and she does not have arthritic pain when she's on this water. She has gastro issues from being diabetic her whole life. She no longer has gastro issues. Her blood sugar is leveled. Her cholesterol is perfect, and she is healthy as can be. Anyways, go to americafirstwater.com. Subscribe. You don't need to do anything. Just go and subscribe onto their email list and read all the stories. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. And there's no sales pitch. It's just, I'm doing it because I believe in it. I believe that the government has evil Luciferians out there that will hurt our water source, that will hurt us financially, that will hurt us medically. So we're all on the same team here. As you know, the evilness goes in different sectors in our lives. It's our job to create awareness for it. Guys, I'm out of here. Pray for my voice, pray for my family, for my business, for my children. Every day we get attacked, and I'm just here fighting the demons, man. I'm just here trying to show face and be the Paul. Like, even when I'm in a storm, I still will write. Just pray for me. Personally, I've been attacked spiritually. And Isaiah 54, I will stay strong, and no weapon formed against me will prosper. I love our God. I love our Jesus, and I will continue to keep Christ first in my heart and all of these things, and seek the kingdom of God, and all these blessings will be added to us. And that's just not for me, but that's for you. I've hoped that I've been able to shed some light on this UBI nonsense. I hope we never become victim of it. It is my prayer that you guys become stewards of your own money, your own income, and put money away. Let me help you put money away in green money accounts that will grow with you. That one day you'll be proud that you did this, so that, like the word says, Proverbs 22:3, the prudent see danger and take refuge, but the simple keep going and suffer for it. So the simple thing, the cheap thing is to say, yeah, UBI is coming. No worries. I'll get more income. I don't have to work. That person will suffer. It's biblical. With that being said, go to CortezW1.com, book an appointment. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe on our Rumble channel, YouTube, or Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Thanks to Mike. We want to help you, and we're everywhere now. So God bless you guys, and I will see you soon.
Unapologetic, I won't bow, I won't hide. Latino blood.